Hi students, I hope all of you had good health. Today we will be going through our next video lesson on matter and its composition. Now students, last day I have already discussed with you about what is matter. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. We have also gone through some of the experimental activities which proved that matter has mass as well as occupies space. And these two factors are due to the presence of small particles which are not visible to our naked eye, that is the molecule. Now, these particles of matter, that is molecules and atoms, have intermolecular space in between, as I discussed with you in my classes, and intermolecular forces with which it attracts the molecules towards each other. Now, based on this property which I already discussed in the class, that molecules are very compactly packed. Now, if the molecules are very compactly packed, then it forms the solid. Over here, the first diagram, as you all can see students, that the molecules are very tightly packed to each other and they form the solid. Next, in the second part, you see the molecules are very less tightly packed as compared to the solid. As a result, there is some intermolecular spaces which is found in between the molecules, and the intermolecular forces much lesser, and this forms the state liquid. And the third state of matter is the gas, which hardly have any intermolecular space and force in between, and as a result the molecules of gases move freely all around. Okay, next is we will be going through the properties of solid, liquids and gases. First of all, solids. What are the different characteristics of solid, students? As I already explained you in my last class, that the molecules of the solid are very closely packed to each other. That is why matter has a definite mass, and the mass is more as compared to the liquid and gases. And also, as because the molecules of solid are very tightly packed, so they have a fixed volume as well as shape. Like if you take a pencil box and just pour it in a bucket, the shape of the pencil box will not change. But if you take a bottle filled with water and pour that water in the bucket, the water will take the shape of the bucket. Okay, that means that solid have definite shape and volume, whereas the liquid, where the molecules are not so tightly packed, do not have definite shape but have a definite volume. We will be discussing it a little later on. Next is the intermolecular distance between the solid is very, very less. And as a result, the intermolecular space is negligible, hardly negligible in case of solid. And as because the molecules of solid are very closely packed to each other, therefore the force of attraction that is working between these two molecules are very high. Next is the constituent particles which are present in solid have their fixed position and can oscillate about their mean position. That means it is very, very hard to just break down solid objects into pieces. Why? Because the molecules or the particles which are present in matter are so tightly packed that they have their fixed position also, and they do not move here and there. They just oscillate about their mean position. Next is solids are almost incompressible and rigid. What does this mean, students? As because the particles of solid are very closely packed to each other, so there is hardly any space left in between the molecules that it can be compressed anymore. So whenever we try to compress solids further, we will see it will not be compressed anymore, and therefore solids are generally very rigid. Next, we will be learning about the characteristics of liquid. Now, liquid has a definite volume but no definite shape. Why and how we can say that liquid has a definite volume but no definite shape? First of all, let me answer the question why. Then I will explain you the answer how. Now, in case of liquid, the molecules of liquid are situated far away from each other as compared to solid. So what happens? The molecules which are present in liquid are always moving from one position to another. As I have already discussed that the particles of matter are always in random motion. Therefore, what happens? It do not leave the spaces from where it was kept, because the molecules, though they are far apart from each other, but the intermolecular force that works between the molecules do not allow them to leave the system and go away. Therefore, the molecules so situated in liquid have a definite volume. Means number of molecules which is present in 1 liter of water kept in a water bottle will be same as the number of molecules which are kept in a bucket which consists of 1 liter of water. Means both 1 liter of water, wherever you keep, be it a water bottle or be it a bucket, both will consist of the same number of molecules. Therefore, the volume does not change. But as because the intermolecular space is more and the intermolecular force is comparatively less as compared to solid, so the molecules can move from one position to another. Therefore, liquid do not have a definite shape. Means wherever you pour liquid, be it a glass container, bottle or whatever, it will assume the shape of that container. Okay, so next point is the particles of liquid are held close together but can move past over one another. The thing which I explained just now, that it can pass over one another. Next, the particles in a liquid move much faster than in a solid. This allows the particles of liquid to temporarily overcome the attractive force between them. That is why they can move from one place to another. But since the intermolecular force is working between them, so they will not leave the space and go ahead. Okay. And due to this phenomena that they have intermolecular space in between, therefore this liquid are compressible in nature. We can compress liquid if we want to do so. So these are the different characteristics of liquid which is associated with it. Next, we will be learning about the characteristics of gas. First of all, in the very beginning, the diagram which I showed you, it showed that the molecules of gases are situated far away from each other. That means there is hardly any intermolecular force that works between the two molecules of gases, because the intermolecular space is very large, means it is much more larger than even the liquid also. So as because the molecules of gases are far away from each other and hardly any intermolecular force works in between, therefore we cannot hold the molecule of gases in a fixed place. Like students, can we hold the molecules of gas in the fold of our palm? We cannot do so. Why? Because the molecules which are so small just move out of in between our fingers and go away. Okay, and it is impossible for us to hold the gases within our palm. Therefore, we see that gases assume the shape and volume of the container over which it is kept. It do not have its own shape and volume. Next, as because the intermolecular space is very large in case of the liquid, in case of the gases, so we can compress gas to a very high level. Like if we compress that natural gas, we will be getting components like LPG, CNG. I think all of you know about LPG and CNG, like the cooking gas which we are using in our domestic kitchen purposes. That is nothing but the compressed form of the natural gas. Okay, so if we compress gases, the molecules will come closer to each other and it will turn into uh, liquid, and we can easily store it. Okay, so these are the things. Next is gases will mix evenly and completely when confined to same container. Just now I discussed it. Okay, just now I discussed about it. Next is gases have lower densities than liquid or solids. Why lower density, students? Because density means, students, mass per unit volume. That means within a particular unit space, how many molecules are present. Now in solid, we can easily see that suppose there are 10 molecules present within a particular space. Similarly, in case of Similarly, in case of liquid, we can count how many molecules are present within a particular space. But if we start counting the molecules, number of molecules in a unit space, we will see hardly we can count it. Therefore, the densities of gases is very, very, very low. Next is fluid. Now, gas and liquid exhibit the phenomena of flowing. That means it can flow from its higher level towards the lower level. And therefore, as because matter can flow, so it is known as fluid. That means the term fluid does not mean liquid, students. That means fluid means both solid, both liquid and gases. Liquid and gases, since they exhibit the phenomena of flowing. Why they can flow? Because the intermolecular space between the molecules are more, whereas the intermolecular force hardly works in between. Therefore, we can say that liquid and gases can flow, and so they are known as fluid. See, in the first diagram I have shown you that the solid, that the boat is actually not flowing or floating in water. Rather, the movement of the water helps the boat to float. That means liquid can flow. Similarly, gas. Okay, we have filled the gas balloon, and then if we just leave it in air, we will see that the air current is helping the balloon to flow up. That means the air around also is acting like a fluid. Here is another diagram which represents in that both liquid and gases are fluid. Why? In the first diagram, if you can see that from one container we are pouring liquid into another container. That means it can easily be poured and it can flow from one container to another. And in the second diagram also, we are pouring a kind of gas which is being created due to some chemical reaction. So here also we can say that solid and liquid both are fluids. Next, let us have a comparative session between solid, liquid and gases and overall overview that in case of solid, it have strong intermolecular force. In liquid, the intermolecular force is weak, whereas in case of gas, the intermolecular force is very, very, very weak. Now, why? Because in case of solid, the intermolecular space is very less as compared to liquid, which has a little more of the intermolecular space. And in case of gas, the intermolecular space is very large. Similarly, in case of solid, as because the intermolecular force is very high, therefore solid have a definite shape and volume. Whereas in case of liquid, they do not have a definite shape and definite volume. Why? As I explained you, that since the molecules of liquid can flow from higher to lower level, as because the intermolecular force is not working so high, so it do not have a definite shape, but it has a definite volume. And in case of gas, as because the molecules can flow in any direction, as because the intermolecular force is not at all working in between them, it's very negligible. Therefore, gas has no definite shape, no volume. Next is solid have high density. Why high density? Because in unit area, the number of molecules of solid are fixed. Therefore, density is very high. In case of liquid, the number of molecules found per unit area is less, so density is less compared to solid. And in case of gas, the density is very low because there is hardly any molecules found per unit area. It's very, very rarely found. So per unit area, the number of molecules is very less, so density is also very less. Now in case of solids cannot be compressed to a high level because there is hardly any intermolecular space left between the two molecules. In case of liquid, there is intermolecular space, so we can easily compress liquids. And in case of gas, the intermolecular space is so high that gases can be highly compressed. Next, the last part of the chapter, we will be again recapitulating. That is interconversion of the states of matter. Now, what is interconversion of states of matter? It's a process by which matter changes So interconversion of states of matter is a process by which matter changes from one state to another and back to original state without any change in its chemical composition when the conditions are reversed. That means there will be no change in chemical composition, but it will only change from one state of matter, that is from either solid state to liquid or liquid to gaseous state, by reversing the conditions. Now conditions may be like temperature or pressure. Like in this diagram, schematic diagram which is given, if we heat solid, it will slowly convert into liquid, which is known as melting or fusion. Why? Because when we start heating this solid state, slowly the molecules which are present in solid starts vibrating and move away from each other. And as a result, the intermolecular space increases, force decreases, and it converts it into liquid. Similarly, when we cool liquid with a lower temperature, the intermolecular space decreases, intermolecular force increases, and it turns into solid, and this is known as solidification. Next is liquid to gas. When we start heating liquid, the molecules which are present in liquid vibrates to a much higher frequency or with a much higher oscillating movement, and then slowly the molecules move farther away from each other, and the intermolecular space increases and the intermolecular force decreases to minimum. And this conversion from liquid to gaseous state is known as vaporization. Similarly, when we reverse the condition, that is we cool gas to lower temperature, it will start converting into liquid. Why? Because the molecules will reduce their vibrating movement. They will come closer to each other, thus reducing the intermolecular space and increasing the intermolecular force, and it will convert into liquid. And this is known as condensation. And when gases, again, in this case, when solids are heated, in some cases, it directly converts into gaseous state, which is known as sublimation. Similarly, when this sublimate vapors are cooled down, it will convert into solid, which is again a step of sublimation. So this is one condition. Again, in case of change in pressure also, when we try to compress solid, it will not be changed anymore. But if we try to compress liquid, it will convert into solid. Again, if we try to compress gas, it will convert into liquid. So this way we can change state from one form to the other by reversing the condition. So thank you students. I hope you have again understood the lesson well. Though I have already explained you in my live classes this part, but for your understanding, I have given this video for your recapitulation. So have a nice day. Go through the video students. Thank you.